In today's lesson, you'll learn how to use instance variables as you write code to identify which letters of the user's guess are the right letter in the right place and which are the right letter in the wrong place. Instance variables can be used by any of the class's methods without being passed as parameters. Hi, I'm Annette Gotland. I'm the author of the Do-It-Yourself Java Games books. I teach Java programming through creating games. Welcome to the video version of my books. We're currently in the Text Games video series, TG, the first of 4 types of game series. The focus of this series is to cover the fundamentals of Java programming. You'll learn how, when, and why Java programs are written the way they are. This series has 16 projects. Each project assumes you already have the skills taught in the previous projects. A link to the entire Text Games playlist is provided in the description below. We're currently working on the 14th project, TG14, Word Mastermind. The goal in the Word Mastermind game is to guess a 4-letter word. A clue will contain an O for each correct letter you guessed in the correct position, and an X for each correct letter you guessed in the wrong position, like this. This is lesson TG14.3, where you'll learn to use instance variables while you write the code to evaluate and generate clues for guesses. In the last 2 lessons, you created and tested 2 new methods needed for the Word Mastermind game. Now it's time to start writing the code for the game. First, we'll print a clue based on a guess. For example, if the word the user is supposed to guess is quit, and their guess is lint, the program should give a clue of -x -o. The X means the second letter of the guess is in the word, but in the wrong position. The O means the 4th letter of the guess is in the word and in the right position. First, we'll create the framework for the variables and methods. Exercise 1. Create the variables and methods. Pause the video if you need more time in any of these exercises. If you want to see how I would complete any of the listings, please refer to the completed listings at the end of this video. First, remove all the code from the Word Mastermind constructor. Then, add strings to the constructor. Word with an initial value of quit, guess with an initial value of lint, and clue with initial value of 4 dashes. Next, create 2 private methods, find right place letters and find wrong place letters. Each should take 1 parameter, a string named guess, and return nothing. And finally, add code to the constructor to call these 2 new methods, then print the value of clue. Run it. What happened? Right now, the 2 methods don't do anything, so the program just prints the 4 dashes. How would we identify which letters are in the right position? Take the following steps to set the clue for the letters that are in the right position. Loop through all the letters of the guess. If the guess letter is the same as the letter in that position of word, set the letter in that position of clue to an O, and set the letter in that position of word to a dash. That last step removes the letter from the word, so the next method, find wrong place letters, can't use that letter again. Now, let's add the code to perform those steps. Exercise 2. Find right place letters. Loop through all the letters of guess. Get the letters in that position of guess and word. Hint, use substring to find the letters. If the guess letter is the same as the word letter, set that letter in clue to an O and in word to a dash. Hint, use replace string at to put the O in clue and the dash in word. Note, you will see some syntax errors indicating that word cannot be resolved even if you filled in the blanks correctly. Why couldn't word be resolved? Let's fix that syntax error. Look at the structure of the blocks of code in the class. Where are word and clue and find right place letters compared to the curly brackets that mark each block of code? Word and clue are declared within the curly brackets of the constructor. Find right place letters isn't within the curly brackets of the constructor, so find right place letters can't see or use word or clue. However, find right place letters is within the curly brackets of the Word Mastermind class. If you want find right place letters to use word and clue, you should declare them within the Word Mastermind class definition, not in the constructor. Then both the constructor and find right place letters can see and use those variables. Variables declared in the class block are called instance variables. Just like methods in a class, instance variables should be declared as public, private, or protected. Because word and clue are already declared in the class definition, do not declare them again in the constructor. Hint: remove the string declaration so they become simple assignment statements, not declaration statements. Let's change the word and clue variables to be instance variables. Exercise 3. Use instance variables. Add word and clue as private string instance variables for the class. Then remove the string declaration from word and clue in the constructor. Run it. What happened? It should have printed dash, 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 and O, since the last letter of the guess, lint, matches the letter in the same position of the original word, quit. Next, let's write the code for the other method, find wrong place letters. How do you identify letters that are in the wrong place? To set the clue for the letters in the wrong position, do the following steps. Loop through all the letters of the guess. If the guess letter is in the word, replace the letter where it was found in the word with a dash. If the character in the clue at the loop index position is still a dash, set it to an X. Now, let's write code to find the guessed letters that are in the wrong position. Exercise 4. Find wrong place letters. Loop through all the letters of guess. Get the letter in guess at the loop index. Hint: use substring to get the letter. If the guessed letter is in word, replace that letter in word with a dash and set clue at the loop index to X if it is still a dash. Hint: use index of to get the index of a letter. If the index is greater than -1, you'll know it is in the word. Hint: use replace string at to put the X in clue and the dash in word. Run it. What happened? It should have given the correct clue, dash X dash O. Key points and more. Instance variables. Variables declared in the class block are called instance variables. Instance variables can be seen and used by all non-static methods in the class in which it was declared. Because static methods must be self-contained, they cannot use instance variables that aren't static. Static instance variables will be covered in a later lesson. Like methods in a class, instance variables must be declared as private, protected, or public. Always choose the least visible option you need. What exactly are instance variables? When you call new for a class, like when you create a new Word Mastermind in the main method, it creates an instance of the class with its own copies of all of its instance variables. It then runs the code in the constructor. If you were to create more than one instance of a class, each instance will maintain its own values for its own instance variables. In a later lesson, you'll learn how you can share some types of variables between multiple instances of a class. Why didn't we just pass word and clue as parameters to these methods? As mentioned in an earlier lesson, parameters only send a copy of the variable. If a method changes a variable declared as a parameter, it only changes the copy, not the original value. We needed these methods to change the value of the original variables. Therefore, they must be declared as instance variables rather than be passed in as parameters. Here are the completed listings for all the exercises in this video. This is the end of the third lesson in the Word Mastermind project. Now that you can correctly give clues based on a guess, let's add a game loop to ask for more guesses. We'll make the game easier to enter guesses while preventing invalid input. In the process, you'll learn how to use a Java string method to easily convert strings to uppercase.